Alrighty, it's time for Season 2's rankings this week. This season, like any other regular season of Drag Race, had 6 possible placements for each episode. And we're always going by the logic that every placement has to be filled by at least one queen. Unless, of course, it's the top 5 or the top 4 episode, if there's a clear exception, as there is in this season in one episode, but that doesn't really happen often, or if there's a double Shantae or double Sachet. In the latter case, the eliminated placement is an extension of the bottom 2 placement, obviously, so one without the other can still work. The queens also get 1 bonus point for winning a mini challenge, as just like a slight indication that they'd also won those. Just like with my previous video, after the ranking, I will give notes to the low, save, high placements. Those placements were determined by the judges' critiques, the edit given in the episode, and, as always, by some rules of symmetry. And, of course, right before the said notes, I will declare the biggest winner, or the queen that placed the most higher above her actual placement, and the biggest loser, the queen that placed the most lower below her actual placement. And without any further ado, let's get into the ranking. In the last, 12th place is, of course, Shangela, as she was eliminated in the first episode of the season, and she did not even win the mini challenge in that episode. I don't think I have to praise Shangela. Her work ethic, her achievements, and her success speak for themselves, and I would go as far as saying that she's the most mainstream drag queen since RuPaul. In the 11th place is Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia. Her PP score is 1.5, and as she was eliminated in episode 2, her placement here is the same as originally. Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia, for the short time that she was there on the show, gave us some memorable funny moments, intentionally or otherwise, though some of the comments that she made towards some of her fellow contestants in Untucked were not cute at all. But hey, I assume and hope that she had changed her mindset regarding trans women in general, but also trans women that happen to be doing drag. A completely unintentional transition into the 10th spot, which is Sonique's. Sonique's PP score is 2, and as she originally was eliminated in episode 4, she gets a -1 to her placement. Sonique is remembered for being the first trans woman that competed on Drag Race, as she had started her transition before the show, if I remember correctly. And then she revealed to the fans of the show that she was trans during the reunion episode of season 2. She's also remembered for her impressive lip sync against Morgan McMichaels, which Ru himself said was the toughest choice he had to make for the 2 seasons of Drag Race up to that point. Sonique also showed up and showed out on the Holly Slay specials, so there's this and that and such. Next, in the 9th place, we have Mystique. Mystique actually has the same PP score of 2.3 recurring as the queen in the 8th place. They both won 1 mini challenge, so once we take those points away and recalculate their PPE scores, Mystique lands below the queen in the 8th place. Now, Mystique has a +1 to her placement, as she originally was eliminated in the 3rd episode. Mystique, for me, is most memorable for showing that you can be a plus-size queen and still do everything that other non-plus-size queens do, without making it your entire personality, like some queens in the later seasons. Also, she's not even from Chicago, and yet she will whoop your ass indeed. In the 8th place, we have the late, the great Sahara Davenport. Again, her PP score is 2.3 recurring, and she has a -1 to her placement, mostly due to the fact that she lip-synced 3 times in her stay on Drag Race, but she also has a maxi challenge win under her belt. Sahara seemed like the sweetheart of season 2, as nobody really had anything bad to say about her. Next, in the 7th place, maybe surprisingly to some, is Jujubee, with a -4 to her placement. Jujubee, given that she never won a maxi challenge on season 2 and successfully lip-synced for her life 3 times, has the PP score of 2.5 recurring. Jujubee is a legend, a goddess, queen of pop, winner of multiple Tony Awards, as Oscars and Grammys are absolute travesties with who they give their awards to and just how many of them. But anyways, nothing but praise for Jujubee. In the 6th place, we have Morgan McMichaels. Her PP score of 2.6 is heavily helped by her win in the first episode. Even so, Morgan gave us, alongside Sonique, according to Ru, the best lip sync of the season. And she also gave Tatiana her wig for Snatch Game. So, well done, Morgan. From what I've heard, Morgan is well known for being a very giving queen to her colleagues in the LA area. So, yay, Morgan. In the 5th place, we have Tatiana, with a 2.7 recurring PP score. As she originally was eliminated in the top 4 episode, Tatiana has a -1 to her placement. So I will keep my time with talking about Tatiana short, as she is my favorite Ru girl, and probably even my favorite drag artist, so I could praise her for the next 10 minutes, but I'm not gonna do that. You all already know how fantastic she is. In the 4th place, we have the lovely Pandora Box, the Miss Congeniality of Season 2, who, much like Nina Flowers in Season 1, was also the Miss Fan Favorite and the Miss Robbed, as her elimination of the season was allegedly the most controversial at the time. Pandora was our first comedy queen of the show, like the first queen that came and flat out said that she did not put her look/aesthetic in the forefront of her drag, but rather that she was mostly about personality, them being quick-witted, funny, and punny, and just a fun ball of positive energy. Sadly, she is known more for her stint on All Stars 1 and the unfortunate pairing of her and Mimi First, but who knows? Maybe someday we get to see Pandora yet again on an All-Star season. In the 3rd spot is the queen that, in my opinion, was the most unfairly treated on Season 2, and whose elimination is beyond nonsense. And that queen is, of course, Jessica Wilde. Jessica's PP score is nearly pi, as she earned 22 points in 7 episodes, so her PP score is 3.142857 recurring. Jessica was so fun to watch in Season 2, and she's such an underrated queen. Alongside Pandora, Sahara, Jujubee even, she could have also won the Miss Congeniality title, and still it would have made complete sense. Jessica could barely speak English when she was on the show, and she made it 7 episodes. That just speaks on how talented and great she is. If Season 2's cast had competed on some later season, where Jessica could probably get more help from the producers with her English, she definitely would have gone even further in the competition, as she really is that good. In the 2nd place, always a bridesmaid, never a bride, when it comes to the competition that is Drag Race, we have Raven, with a PP score of 3.6 recurring. Raven, as the antagonist of the season, was never going to win. But also, with her weak start, she was most definitely never going to win the season. Regardless of the fact, she almost matched Tyra's track record by the last episode. Had she won episode 9's challenge, they would have been tied, though Raven's score is held by her 3 mini challenge wins, so the first spot would have still gone to Tyra. Raven is maybe the most successful Ru girl in the realm of Drag Race, as she now literally works for the show and has been able to keep herself relevant since her season, which was 10 years ago. Also, right after her stint on Season 2, allegedly everyone in LA's drag scene started doing their face the same way that she does it. So, honestly, Raven is borderline effortlessly iconic. And of course, in the first place, as a winner of a season should be, is Tyra Sanchez. Now, I do know that many people don't like Tyra now, or rather don't like James, as he doesn't do drag anymore. But you have to admit that Tyra owned Season 2. Like, that was her season, and that's all we're talking about here. The queen's performances on the season, not them right now and as real-life human people. Because trust me, if we did that, we would not be saying nice things about a good portion of the Ru girls. That was the ranking. If you were paying attention, you probably figured out the biggest winner and the biggest loser. But if you were not, I will of course tell you who they are. The biggest winner of Season 2 was Jessica Wilde, ranking 3 spots above her original placement. And the biggest loser is Jujubee, ranking 4 spots below her original placement. Now, the notes. In episode 2, out of the safe 4 from the losing team, Tatiana overall got the best critiques, and then Morgan had immunity, so they're safe. Sonique and Pandora are low, as their critiques lean more towards the negative side. Pandora did allegedly make a lot of money in the challenge, which was sort of the main criteria in determining most of the placements on the show, but she was the team captain and her team did lose. Episode 3 had no low placements. For episode 4, Jujubee is low for the Snatch Game. For episode 5, Pandora's placement was the trickiest to figure out. She got both positive and negative critiques, but during the judges' deliberation, more negative critiques were shown to us. Furthermore, she was called safe opposite of Raven, who was clearly high, so Pandora here was low. Jujubee and Jessica were not high, as their critiques were not as positive as Raven's, as they actually got some negative critiques unlike her. Plus, with the two of them being called safe together first, in any more recent season, they would have been the two safe queens in Untucked for the top 8 episode. Yes, they did get positive feedback with their You're Safe callouts, but as we've seen with Nina Flowers in season 1, that doesn't mean a whole lot. In episode 6, Santino, so one of the judges, I know some of you all dislike him, but he is one of the main judges and the producers kept this comment in for a reason, says that Tatiana fell right in the middle of the pack, which everyone agreed with, as she had a good performance, but there was still simplicity to her that wasn't refined. So Tati is the safe queen out of the bunch. Of course, I have to know that Tyra is obviously low. In episode 7, Jujubee got more positive critiques than Tyra, so Juju is high, Tyra safe, whereas Pandora is low, obviously. For episode 8, surprisingly to me, honestly, Tyra got more negative critiques about her makeover than Tatiana, getting critiqued on her partner's hair, on her partner's makeup, and getting sort of a mixed critique on the fact that they wore almost the exact same look. Thus, Tyra is safe and Tatiana is high. And that's it. That's the video. At this time tomorrow, I will post the confessional dissected video for season 2 as well, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you for watching.